an Ibanez pickup.
My name's Colin Roberts. I'm a solo musician out of Omaha, Nebraska, and let me tell you about this guitar. So it's a silver tone guitar. These were built in way long ago, and it's a 65 parlor is what it is. And I got a copy of this when I was 14 from my aunt and uncle, and the intent was to learn how to play the guitar. And then when I picked the guitar up and realized how painful and time consuming it was going to be to learn it, I set it down. So when I went to college, I still hadn't learned how to play the guitar, but I took it with me anyway, and ran into a couple of guys that were teaching themselves how to play guitar, and I brought this in their room and learned G, C, and D. You know, it only had 5 strings on it at the time, so I had to learn how to restring it before I could even play it. It had a big old gash in it in the side. And then many years later, after I'd gotten rid of it, I was yearning for a writing guitar, and I came across this on Reverb and it looks exactly the same. The only difference is there's no screws in the pick guard, and these are the heads here are different, but otherwise it looks and feels almost the same.
It's too bad we never got a chance for coffee in the driveway.
Why was this guitar so special to you that you had to go buy a replica of it?
Well, I think the biggest part of it is the memories that it had. Like, this doesn't have those same memories, if you will, but the look and the feel still have the same memories. And in addition to that, I was looking for something that I could just toss. It's not something that's precious. It's not something that I have to make sure it's not in its case. It's in its case at all times and things like that. I just wanted a guitar that I could pick up, I could use to write. I write 90% of my songs on this now, just because it's right in the room with me all the time. And I was looking for something that I could just kind of throw in the back of the truck without a case, without a bag, without any of that stuff, and just go.
Rooms filled with desire. Feel it burning inside.
Does this guitar have a name?
Ooh. Silvertone. It's a Silvertone. I call it by its original name. I haven't named it anything. I'd be open to one though.
Let me think a little bit.
Yeah, you got a name? You got a name for it?
Silvertone.
Yeah. She's got the sunburst, so sunny.
I think there could be something in there with a vampire of some kind, like
Ooh.
a vampire name, because you got the sunburst and you got silver. No vampires killed by silver.
Silver, yeah. Ooh,
One spikes.
vampire killer.
Van Helsing.
Van Helsing is the name of the guitar.
There you go.
Vampire killer.
Yeah, we never got the chance for coffee in the driveway.
This guitar's traveled with me kind of all over the country. So it's been as far west as Colorado, as far east as New York State, down to Nashville, and up to Minneapolis. So this has kind of been my backseat guitar. So that's probably my favorite part of it, is just traveling and having it, knowing it's there and looking in the. It seems silly, but I've got ADHD, and if I forget things, I always have this fear of forgetting things. I could be 100 miles down the road and I'll try and remember if I forgot something. And so seeing it in the back seat is always nice, because I know it's there, and that's the one thing that I need when I go on these retreats or these trips. My grandparents immigrated here from Ireland, and so I'm going over to Ireland for my 50th birthday to spend 2 weeks over there and just be by myself with a backpack and a guitar.
Awesome.
And try and pick up maybe some gigs. I might busk in Dublin. I might do some of the international fun stuff while also seeing some of my roots. So this might actually come with me because it's so easy to travel with.
We'll take our turn. Light up your fire.
Who is one guitarist, dead or alive, that you would love to sit in a room and listen to play this guitar?
Oh, man. So one of the first ones that comes to mind is Dave Matthews, just because of his it would be cool to hear him play this guitar. It'd be cool to hear him, be in a room with him, to hear him play guitar. I think Chris Stapleton, I take a lot of inspiration from, and he's got incredible killer guitar skills. And I say those two because they're kind of like bookmarks on my music, if you will, between country and kind of more jam band rock. That's kind of where I live. And so I think those would be pretty cool ones. I think there's a ton of people that I would give anything. Like, there's an artist, his name's Rustin Kelly. He plays in a ton of open tunings. He's got a bunch of music that he calls dirt emo. So it's kind of red dirt country meets emo. It's a really, really cool mix of stuff. I've got one of his guitars, and I'd love to sit down and let him play this too.
We could hang around, sit 6 feet apart. He could tell stories until it got dark.
I haven't written all of them yet, is what it'll say. I think there's still something there that needs to be written that I know is deep inside, and I think this guitar kind of knows that. And it knows where to take me, kind of, at times when I'm really struggling with, like, if I've got something that I'm really playing with, but I can't come up with the lyrics, it'll come up with something else, as far as the chord progression or as far as the sound. Like, if I've got to change it to an open tuning, it usually comes up with something like, yeah. So that's what's nice about this. So what it would say about me is that I am consistent, but I could be better.
On so sudden, I still can't believe it's true.
Has this guitar ever surprised you emotionally?
It is right now.
Yeah.
It is right now in that, I didn't realize that it was this important to me. I think having the guitar hang in the living room, and I've got a couple of them, but this is my screensaver on my phone. It's interesting. I don't think about my instruments being that personal to me until I'm having this conversation with you. And this is a pretty personal guitar to me. Just going through this project with you, I haven't thought about it much. This is personal because it holds so much sentiment to when I was younger. The reminiscent nature of this guitar, by it being something that I had when I was 14, and I can still remember trying to play it, and I still remember, in fact, I may still even have the chord books that I was given with it. So it's pretty crazy to think that it's got that much history with me when I think about the guitar as Van Helsing through life.
You're gonna start calling it that.
I am. This is Van Helsing all day long. I love it.
Put another log on the fire. I'm gonna let it go on.
It's my writing's friend. So I think that's what it needs to continue to be in its future self somehow, some way, shape, or form. It either needs to be my writing friend as I age. My kid doesn't play instruments, so it wouldn't be necessarily something that I could pass down to her. But if there was somebody that would be interested in doing some more writing long term, this would be a beautiful gift for them, I think. It's treated me really well. It's been through, like I said, a bunch of travel, and it's got its cracks and crevices, but it still does its job. So I would say long term, it would just be make sure that you can write a song with it. But I think also it would be a really nice opportunity to potentially gift it to a nonprofit in town, that it could potentially serve some people in that way too. So one of those two means, as it relates to either to a good friend who I know is going to write with it, or to somebody that I could potentially gift it to as a future songwriter.
Please know I'm always open. Coffee in the driveway. Yeah, I'm happy to meet you. Coffee in the driveway.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of live shows coming up. Some of them are cover, some of them are original. You can find all of that on my website. It's www.colinrobertsmusic.com. You can also find me on the socials, which is Colin Roberts Music Omaha. And yeah, I've got a bunch of shows coming up at a couple of places around the area here in Omaha. And I'm actually working on a couple of projects where I'm hoping to release some acoustic vocal tracks at the end of the year. Maybe a compilation of either an EP or potentially even an album. I don't know yet.
Cool.
So more to come in the future.
Cool. Anything else you want to say about it?
I don't think so. I mean, I think at the end of the day, this is just my right hand man. It's my buddy. I was cleaning and I looked at this and I got a splinter in my finger. So it sabotaged me that way, just by getting these little cracks in. As it relates to sabotaging it from a musical standpoint, no, it's probably more my go-to.